Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. A chiming in. As you can see, we're doing the next part of the Suaveness video set here. Where last time around we were doing a little bit of the get hits that were pretty much the falling animation for a Suave Dude, along with a little bit of a detour due to some video issues. And this time we're actually doing the last bit, the kind of a neutral to falling frames for a jumping animation. In this case, the jumping animation will be the neutral jump, which is basically Suave Dude going up and down. Now, one thing that's changed since the last time I did one of these recordings is I actually picked up a neat little piece of hardware, which I'm currently using and working off the video here, being a Wacom Cintiq 22HD. For the most part, I've actually been using a really old USB Wacom Graphite 3, along with the occasional bit of Intuos 4 usage in order to do my sorted pixel art. But in terms of the Intuos 4 particularly, there had actually been some lag issues when it comes to actually drawing something here in graphic scale, where basically unless I'm making the actual stylus move quite a bit, it won't actually draw anything. However, with the 22HD, when I draw, even if it's just a pixel or two, it'll actually register properly without any problems, and I didn't need to do any real tinkering at all in order to get that to work. In terms of what's going on in this particular video here, right now I'm actually drawing up kind of some neutral legs that are going to be moving around on the, or kind of propping in order to get ready for landing later on here. I was actually going to be, I was actually considering setting up so that on the falling animation, Suave Dude's arms would kind of make a kind of a T shape as he's falling on his way down. But then I remembered as I was actually drawing that up, or about to draw that up, it's like, oh wait, if I start doing it this way, it'll actually look, it would be pretty fluid, I would personally think, but that's not exactly the goal here, because it would look much too fluid compared to Suave Dude's counterpart, KFM, the Kung Fu Man. At this point, I'm going to pretty much say it's going to be mostly a given that Suave Dude here is going to be at least a bit more fluid than Kung Fu Man by default. Let's be honest, the original work wasn't exactly the greatest thing around. It's still, the general idea is I want to keep it so it's something that would be generally fitting, not completely overshadowing the original in every possible way. That's not the goal here. Now, in terms of what's going on right now, I'm actually transitioning the foot position on the bottom end in order to get it something that would make a little more sense on the way down. The arm motion would be pushing a little bit further out in order to get it so it's not necessarily in the same position. Although, I might actually change this in the final version that's going to appear in the character, but at least for now, this will be what the neutral one looks like, and I'll be uploading the animated GIF version of this on my DeviantArt gallery, which I'll include within the links, or in the actual video description here later. But for the most part, at least in the first couple of sample videos of in the first couple of sample videos of Suave Dude, as I actually get along to programming him more, they'll probably be showing this jump kind of working as the go-to jump for the moment being, and I'll be working on the forward and backward jumps a little later on off camera. As for why I kind of chose this particular position at the current moment in time, it's mostly because it's pretty much a fairly neutral position that, depending on the type of attack, punching or kicking, it wouldn't be, in theory at least, too hard in order to transition to any one position. And for the most part, I can kind of do admittedly a cheap animation, a cheap cop-out of just having some of the fabric in either the shirt or the jeans kind of wave in the wind somewhat as he's coming on his way down, which is what I'm doing with the collar right now. The collar would pretty much be, this entire cycle will be kind of a 2-frame cycle on the way down, just like it was a 2-frame cycle for what I did on the way up, where there'll be just some smaller details. Pretty much the cuffs would be moving a bit up, the actual jean bottoms would be moving up, and the collar itself would be moving a bit as well. I believe I also drew just a bit of shirt movement going on here, although I think I kind of drew the shirt around the abdomen in the final version off the top of my head. But for the most part, it's kind of a cheap way in order to show that there's actual motion going on without having to do too much actual work on my end. In terms of how the jump start is going to work on this particular animation, it'll be reusing some of the frames used for the crouching animation, which would probably be the first one or two of the crouch frames in order to do the jump start, and then doing the reverse in order to do the actual landing animation. There's pretty much no need in order to reinvent the wheel there. One, an actual transition that actually seems to work well enough, at least for the time being, and of course, if I change my mind later, it'll be a quick fix. Alright, from what I recall in these recordings, I pretty much decided I was about done here, just adjusting a bit of motion on the actual jean bottoms there, around the calves and ankles, just to get it so the movement kind of fit in a little better. And in a moment, we're going to do a cut in order to see the final version, at least for now, with all the frames. Alright, and here's the tentative version that's going to be going on the DA gallery after I'm probably done uploading this video. And next time on the Suaveness video set, I'm probably going to be doing a basic attack or two and maybe some specials. Catch you next time.